Alright you guys, ZFR back here once again, and in this video I kind of just want to talk to you guys about the future of Cyberpunk 2077 and what I kind of think of it. Now, we're kind of hitting a crossroads where a lot of people are just fed up with Cyberpunk 2077. Let's just be honest. I mean, the people who love the game are starting to get tired of defending it because even though it's a fun game, even though it has a lot of great qualities to it, it unfortunately just isn't improving and is just now really recovering from its unacceptable state that it launched in. And even now, like, it's taking CDPR a lot longer than everyone expected to pump out fixes and content for this game. So a lot of people definitely are getting a little bit fed up with it and stuff. It's even to the point where some of the haters and stuff are tired of talking about it. So I mean, overall, people are just waiting and watching and hoping for something to happen with this game. And I pretty much want to talk about in this video what I think we should expect going forward, or what I hope to see going forward at least. And pretty much, if you didn't see it, I did a 7-month later video for Cyberpunk 2077. Make sure you go and check that one out, because I talk about a lot of stuff I talk about in this video in that one. So I mean, they're kind of good videos that go hand in hand and kind of bounce off of each other. But anyway, getting into this topic, so Cyberpunk 2077, as we all know, is kind of still a little bit of a blank slate right now. A lot of us are hoping we start seeing new content very soon. I mean, we do have the upcoming free DLC coming up, which I do unfortunately think is going to disappoint a lot of people. I think when it comes to the free DLC, unfortunately, a lot of it is very small scale stuff from what we've had leaked and spoiled and what we've been hearing. Even the team themselves have been stating that they're a little bit scared to overhype it. And that's because it's going to be small stuff. And, you know, I think that a lot of people are hoping it's going to be something a little bit extra, but I just don't think you should expect too much outside of new weapon packs. You know, you might get the ability to customize your character throughout the game. You get new game plus and stuff like that. I wouldn't expect any crazy new big features from this upcoming free DLC. This stuff sounds a lot more like stuff that probably should have been in the game since day one, if we're being honest. But moving forward, what do I think CDPR can do to really improve the game? In all honesty, the main thing that kind of worries me is I hope they focus on improving the gameplay and the gameplay loop over, you know, kind of just really adding on and piling on the cosmetic stuff and, you know, making the game look great. You know, adding in a bunch of more cinematic type things to kind of try and change up or really boost the immersion factor of the game. Which, don't get me wrong, I want to see the game become more immersive, right? But at the same time, not at the cost of us not getting more important changes. Like, for instance, a lot of people want to see want the ability to sit down and eat plates of food and stuff like that. And I know it's kind of just a meme or a joke, but some people actually want those changes, and I hope CDPR doesn't take that serious, because in my opinion, instead of doing stuff like that, maybe make consumables a little bit more user friendly and actually useful throughout the gameplay. Make those a more connected part of the gameplay, such as Geralt with his potions and stuff. I think that would be a much smarter route to go with that, opposed to giving us this animation of V eating food. We just don't really need that compared to gameplay changes, right? And the same thing goes for stuff like the Ripper Doc. Like, a lot of people want to see like the very detailed Ripper Doc animations, where pretty much They want to see like V getting modified in real time, getting his body modified in real time and all that. And in all honesty, I'd rather them just focus on making all the implants, cybernetic implants in the game more useful. Because right now, other than the arms and the legs and maybe charismatic Hawk, a lot of them aren't that useful. I want to see more variety in the implants. I want them to be a bigger part of customizing your V. You know, add in stuff like that, rework a few of them, rework the stats on some of them and how they work. You know, maybe work on adding stuff like that invisibility one to the game. You know, add stuff like that into the game and really work on stuff like that over, you know, silly stuff like adding a ton of different animations just for new modifications, body modifications, and then when you add them on and you get the cool animation, we're still stuck with the same kind of trash systems that we have right now that aren't really cutting it for a lot of people. Even when it comes to stuff like, for instance, I know a lot of people want to see them add in more story missions and all that right away. I honestly would prefer them right now focus on the open world gameplay. You know, add more open world variety to the game. Work on the AI and, you know, just kind of focus on getting the AI straight, or getting the AI to a point where it's a lot more dynamic, where there's different, maybe add some different enemy types, add some different behaviors and stuff from different enemy factions and how they do things. You know, do stuff like that and you'll really bring the game to life a lot more compared to, you know, adding some of the more shallow stuff that I think we all want to see, right? Like, we all want to see more animations and cool animations and stuff like that. We all want to see the stuff that they promised us, like the Mantis Blades wall running and stuff like that. But in all honesty, right now, guys, the gameplay loop, in my opinion, is the biggest thing in Cyberpunk that needs to change before anything else. If they get that straight, then they can start worrying about some of that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Instead of worrying about all that, I'd rather see them do something like kind of rework the loot system to make loot a little bit more rare and a little bit more valuable every time you pick something up. You know, that way, instead of dismantling what you don't want for this specific playthrough, you're a little more enticed to keep things in your inventory and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I want them to take what they already have in the game and make more use of it, opposed to, you know, sitting down and pouring all this money and time into a ton of new resources. At least for like the updates and free DLC and stuff like that. You know, they have to add, you know, some crazier stuff for the big expansions coming up next year supposedly, but outside of that, like, I really just want to see them focus on kind of using what they've got to improve the game, because that's going to take a lot of stress off of the developer while also giving the player content at better rates. So and when I say better rates, I mean time wise, right? You know, not money wise. That's going to focus on getting content out to the players a little bit quicker and really improving the game and making the game a lot more fun to play. You know what I'm saying? Add in different side missions. Instead of go here and kill this, how about adding some car chases into the game? How about adding the ability for us to, you know, shoot while driving? Even if you can't, you know, do the cinematic one like you have in the story mode, I don't know, at least give us the ability to kind of do like we do, like they do it in GTA, you know, where you just kind of shoot the gun, you have the reticle while you're driving and stuff like that. Do something to kind of just improve it. You know, do kidnap missions, do just swap up the variety, right? That's all I'm saying, and just add more content to the gameplay loop, opposed to adding to the more cinematic stuff in the game. Right now, the game doesn't need cinematic stuff. It needs the meat and potatoes, the gameplay. So, yeah, that's what I personally think Cyberpunk needs the most right now. In my opinion, to really become a better game anywhere, anytime in the near future. I just don't think we're going to get this super cinematic game like we all wanted at first. The game comes close, but in all honesty, I think our best chance of getting to that is whatever they do with the 2 or 3 upcoming big expansions that you have to pay for. I think those are our biggest chance of like getting massive overhauls to some of this stuff. However, in between then, I just really want to see them focus on improving some of the smaller stuff in the game at a more reasonable rate, opposed to constantly trying to please some of the bigger desires of the fans and maybe even themselves. So yeah, overall, that's how I personally feel about it, guys. Let me know how you guys feel down below in the comment section. Don't forget to leave likes, comments, all that good stuff down below. Hit the subscribe button also for more great Cyberpunk 2077 content. We're going to have a ton of it this week coming up and over the course of the few weeks as the free DLC hopefully finally starts to drop. But anyway, thank you so much for supporting the video and watching, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one. ZFR out, guys.